Mukham karoti vachalam pungam langai tegrim yat kripatamaham mande Shri Gurum Dinadharanam Nama Shreshtam Manumapi Sachiputramatra Surupam Rupam Tasyagrajam Urupuram Madirim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaram Avo Radhika Madhavasam Prapto Yasya Pratidva Shri Gurum Tam Natosmi. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Now we are going to see the prayers of Manu. Manu to Matsya Avatar. This Canto 5, Chapter 18, Verse 25. We are now continuously seeing the prayers by different residents of Jambudip, right? So we have again location where we are. So to tell that there are some 9 islands in the Jambudipa. So we see that Varsha, the different Varshas we say. So Ilavrita, Bhadrashava, Hari, Ketumala, Ramyaka, Iranmaya, Kuru, Kimpurusha, Bharata. So now we are in the 5th place where Ramyaka Varsha, where Vaivasvata Manu is praying to Matsyavatara. So far we have completed Ilavrita Varsha, where Lord Shiva prayed to Sankarshana. Bhadrashava Varsha, Bhadrashava, King Bhadrashava, worshipped Hayagriva. Hari Varsha, Prahlad Maharaj worshipped, prayed to Narsimadev. Ketumala Varsha, Lakshmi ji was praying to Kamadeva. Now we are in Ramyaka Varsha, where Vaivasvata Manu was praying to Matsyavatar, right? So here we will now describe about the Matsyavatar. In Bhagavatam explains about 10 subject matter. One subject matter is Pralaya also. Pralaya means devastation. Devastation means completely, the universe is completely destroyed. There are 3 kinds of devastation, Bhagavatam explains. That one happens in one's life. If a person dies, that is his pralaya, means end of his or her life. That is for one living entity, one person, one jiva. That is, of course, death for them is pralaya, finished. And there is a partial devastation, partial pralaya, that means only part of the universe is destroyed, either by water or by fire or something. So the rest of the world, rest of the universe is still there. Then complete devastation also happens, either by fire, water or something. So the world, the universe is destroyed. So here what happens, this pralaya, I don't know, it is partial or complete. Satyavrata Rishi. Satyavrata is a Raja Rishi, again, as a kingly, saintly king. And when he was meditating, he found near the banks of a river, he found a small fish asking for protection. The small fish calling the king, "Oh king, please protect me." Then the king thought, it's a small fish, so I will take the fish in the small kamandalu which he had. In that he took the fish. In a moment, the fish became big. And the fish started calling the king, "Oh king, please place me in a bigger place." Then he put the fish in a bigger pot. Immediately it became bigger than that pot. Then he put the fish in a pond, and then lake. The lake also had become very, very big. Then finally he put the fish into an ocean. Again, the ocean, it became very huge and big. Then now the king understood that this is not an ordinary fish. So he prayed to the Lord, "Please reveal yourself. I'm a simple human being. I don't know why you are doing this Leela or testing with me." Then the Lord started speaking that is going to, there is going to be a devastation, means pralaya. So that time, everything will be washed up by water. So he says that the king, Manu, the Satyavrata king, along with herbs, plants, uh, to uh, to regenerate the universe again. Because once everything is destroyed, then again Krishna, the Lord, will uh, produce everything again. So he said, along with the rishis and herbs, and to start the new life again, I will preserve you all. So you come in a big ship, you go to a big ship, be here, I will come and rescue you. Then Krishna came as a big, huge golden fish, very beautiful, shining, and has one horn. On that horn, the king had to tie in the ship. Then the ship is rescued, and then the next Manvantara starts. There ends Sakshusha Manvantara. Then Vaivasvata Manu comes. He became the Manu of that time. So here Vaivasvata Manu is praying to the Matsya avatar. So Matsya avatar is the first avatar. He is praying now. It's a beautiful prayer. All the prayers by great devotees are very, very excellent, which we are relishing now, right? The words, how they are thinking, how they are. Always one thing we see that the devotees glorify the Lord with his unique, the glorification never stops with the Lord's different beautiful qualities, that however we can glorify, there is no end. Like Ananta says, though a Lord's incarnation himself is glorifying the Lord for millions, trillions of years, still it is going on. So the Lord's glorification is end, no end. There is no end. It is infinity. So how here now we can see Manu is glorifying the Lord. So he says the first word, Om Namo Bhagavate Mukhya Thamaya. Mukhya Thamaya means here it is because Matsya Avatara is the first avatar, right? So first avatar, so he is glorified as Mukhya Tama. Prabhupada in the purport is quoting the prayer by Jayadev Goswami, that Pralaya Payodi Jale Dritavana Sivedam Vihita Vahitra Charitamatekam Keshava Meena Sharira Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. So you are the Lord. In this Jayadev Goswami's prayer song, all the 10 incarnations are described beautifully. So Matsya Avatar has a speciality that he is the first incarnation. So he is saying that you are first, and he is glorifying with the beautiful words, Satvaya, Pranaya, Balaya, Sahase, Ojase. All these descriptions are there here. Satvaya is very important because though the Lord takes incarnation here as different animal species also. Like he became a boar, fish, boar, and tortoise, and horse, Aigriva, we saw in other prayers. So different, he may take the form of an animal also, but these forms are not material. They are pure good. They are in pure goodness. That is Sutta Sattva. So here he is saying, that's why he is saying Sattvaya. Sattvaya means pure transcendence. Pure transcendence. See, Sattva Guna is there, but this Sattva Guna, the mode of goodness, is still material. But pure goodness is above, beyond material. So is described here as Sattvaya, pure transcendence. And then Pranaya. He is the origin of all life. Where is the prana comes from? From Lord. So he is Pranaya, origin of all life. He is the beginner of all lives. Balaya, he has a strong strength. You see, in ordinary fish cannot carry the big ship. Ordinary fish cannot become bigger than the ocean. So this proves that Lord's bodily strength is immeasurable because he is holding the whole universe, like easily, not very with difficulty. If you employ somebody to hold any bigger thing, they have to struggle a lot. But Lord's for Lord, it is like dust particle. The whole universe is like a dust particle. So his bodily strength is immeasurable. That's why the Lord is always glorified as Aparameya. Means he is beyond our um, senses to understand him. He is Aparameya and he is Achintya. We cannot understand him because we have limited senses. With that limited senses, when we described also, we use the material examples because we have no other way to relate. That's why many times we use material, whatever we see, to describe the Lord, but he is beyond such descriptions. Then he has a power, mental power, strong power. So Sahase, it says that he is having a strong mental power. And then Ojase means sensory abilities. Sensory ability is beyond comparison. We cannot compare. So he is such a great person that even we describe him, that has limitations only, because we are limited and our descriptions are limited. But pure devotees like Manu, they can describe him and glorify him, pray him. So next verse is talking about the Lord as supreme controller. Lord is supreme controller, like how a puppeteer controls the puppet. If we see the puppet show, he is controlling the puppet. Puppet has no life. It is connected with the thread, and that the puppeteer makes the hand move like this, leg move like this. So that means what? We are also like that only. We are controlled by the Lord. So here Prabhupada is quoting beautiful prayer of Kunti Maharani, that Kunti says, Namaste Purusham Dwadayam Ishwaram Prakrite Param Alakshayam Sarva Bhutanam Andar Bahir Avastitam. The Lord, how the Lord is controlling us? Because he is there inside also, outside also. Bahir Narsimho, Hridaye Narsimho. Bahir means outside. He is there outside. Hridaya, he is there inside also. So here also, Antar Bahir Avastitam means he is inside also, outside also. So we cannot escape him. People think that they can escape the Lord, but it is difficult that we cannot escape from the control of the Lord. We are here, the jivas are here in this material world, want to control, rule over the material nature. We want to imitate the Lord. That's why we are here. But by seeing the reality, we should understand that controlling is not possible, because he is the ultimate controller. How he controls? Ishvara sarvabhutanam hridayeshu arjuna tishtati. Brahmayan sarvabhutanam sarvabhutani yandra arudani mayaya. Yandra arudani mayaya means this is the yandra, the machine. The body is the machine. In that machine we sit. But who is controlling? Krishna is controlling, according to our desire. So he is sitting in the heart. every jiva's heart, the Lord is sitting, and then he is controlling. So the supreme controller is Krishna. We think, mostly everyone thinks that we are the controller, right? So Prabhupada is writing a beautiful purport here, saying that how Lord controls us, like a puppeteer controls the doll, puppet, and like a husband controls the wife. And now we can say the wife controls the husband. We can say this way, because mostly it is the wife controlling the husband, but it is a Vedic example. Prabhupada at the time he is saying that how a woman is controlled by the husband. Prabhupada is writing, women thinks that they want to be independent. They don't want to be controlled. But what to speak of women? All the jivas in this world are all prakriti, are all women only. They cannot be independent. They cannot be independent. They are all dependent on Krishna for everything. For everything. There is no work or there is no thing that we can be independent of Krishna. Is there any activity that we can take out Krishna and become independent? No. Nothing is like that. So Prabhupada is writing here that what is self-realization? Self-realization as differently explained in different places. Self-realization, what is self-realization means? Understanding one's position as the subordinate to Krishna. Subordinate to Krishna. If you ask Mayavadis, then you are not the body, we are spirit soul. Yeah, that is also self-realization. But the real meaning of self-realization is always thinking that we are subordinate to Krishna. So, if we don't surrender to Krishna, what will happen? Without understanding that we are controlled by Krishna, if we understand this fact, we are controlled by Krishna, then we become surrendered to Krishna. If we don't understand this, we will remain like any other materialistic people. You see, materialistic people, they are free, carefree. They do whatever they want to do without the understanding. Even to do whatever we want to do, we should take the permission from the God, from Lord Krishna. Some, they think that they are acting independently, but they are controlled by Maya. They are controlled by material nature. If a person doesn't surrender to Krishna, then Maya will take surrender. Okay. That's what is happening, right? If you don't surrender to God, then Prabhupada is writing, you have to surrender to dog. Yes, if we don't attach to Krishna, then we have to attach to different things in the world. Money, name, fame, these are all material attachments. And, they have this attachment also with other living entities, animal, man. So many attachments comes. That means what? They surrender. Attachments means what? They surrender to other things other than Krishna, which will make him to come here again and again and again and again. So, many Mayavadis, Prabhupada is again saying that Mayavadis, they don't understand the supreme controller, and they think that, we can do some miracles here, we can do some social work here, so we will serve poor people. See poor people as Narayana, Daridra Narayana. So we are feeding so many people. So like that, they do philanthropic works. They think that they are serving. How? You cannot serve anyone unless you understand the fact that I am an instrument in the hands of Krishna. Nimitta matram. Krishna says to Arjuna, you are nimitta matram, Sevya Sachin, Baba Sevya Sachin. You are just an instrument in my hands. If we don't understand this, then we will become instrument in the hands of Maya. Again, Krishna's energy only. Then after getting severe beatings, then the jiva surrendered to Krishna. Till then, till one takes surrender to Krishna, they roam here and there, get kicks by the Maya, severe kicking. Then also many, they don't understand. They don't take the step to surrender to Krishna. This we see in many lives, many people's life. They suffer a lot. Still, they don't surrender to Krishna. They don't take up Krishna consciousness. This is the, one big surprise for devotees, right? Because devotees, we all surrender some percentage, not 100%, at least We theoretically came to the point, unless we surrender to Krishna, there is no hope in this material world. That much we came. But you see the materialistic people, they get beating severely, but still when we preach, they don't take up Krishna consciousness. This is surprising for devotees, though we are also not very highly elevated. We are also here only rotting. But at least we came to the conclusion, theoretically we should surrender to Krishna. Still we have long way to go. But still when we see the fallen conditioned souls, we become surprised that though they get beatings, such a heavy beatings from Maya, they are not able to take up Krishna consciousness. So in many classes, devotees ask why they are not taking up Krishna consciousness. Maybe a lot of beatings are yet to come. That's why they are not taking up Krishna consciousness. They have to suffer a lot in their life. Then the realization may come or may not come. Some they become atheist. Their karmic reaction is so bad, so bad, so bad. They became totally become atheist, which is again their karma will keep on increasing. The bad karma will keep on accumulating. They go far, far, far away. So that we saw in Second World War that many people, they became atheist because their dear near ones all died in the war. So they don't know what to do. So they didn't believe God at all. Oh, God can be so cruel. You behaved so cruel. That's why it happened to you. So they don't understand the intricacies of karma, and they keep going, accumulating their bad karma. So Krishna is the controller if we don't understand this. Krishna is the supreme controller if we don't understand this. Then what happens? We think, the jiva thinks that they are the controller. Like children play in the beach side, they construct, they think that, oh, we are constructing a house. What happens to the house? The waves comes and destroys it. Like there are big kingdoms in this universe made by the big emperors. They are all gone after their death. We have seen whatever in this material world, however great they may be, however beautiful they may be, there is an end. There is an end. That time they should understand that there is a controller. How come? I don't know. I cannot understand the fact how one can become an atheist. Because just if you open the eyes and see the world, they should understand that God is there. Supreme controller is there. We are all controlled. We cannot control even our bodily things. How come man thinks that we do this, we do that? If you see the scientists, they are the very puffed up people who think that we identify this, we identify that, we discover this, we can go here, go there. Like that, they are all like, thinking that they can control the nature. Prabhupada quite often says in his teachings, writings, and that the scientists think that they can create new lives. But it is not possible to create a life from matter. Many places he writes this. Unless you have a life, you cannot create a life. That life also, unless you have the sanction from the Supreme Lord, it is not possible. Any life, any plant, animals. So the scientists, so-called this people, so-called scientists, they do all this nonsense. Sometimes good also. But the result is they think themselves as supreme controllers. That's the bad thing they do. Some they don't, they realize that the supreme controller is Krishna. Somehow he has blessed me so that we became a scientist. Some of them, they tell, okay, I got the knowledge from the Lord, from God, like that they speak. But mostly they think that they can control the world by discovering atom bombs or nuclear bombs, weapons, What for? It is like, you know, um, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. And defending animals make very easily. Human being becomes very complicated. For that, they study, make research, and find out nuclear bombs to kill others without thinking that I cannot kill anyone unless Krishna sanctions whatever bomb I may discover. You see, Brahmastra, it's all the weapons are operated by mind power and mantras, right? But even Brahmastra cannot do anything if Krishna is there. Brahmastra, if it is targeted, it will finish that person and come. That is the power of Brahmastra. Nobody can stop it. But when Krishna is there, nothing will affect. Krishna protected Arjuna from Brahmastra also, we know that, right? So when Krishna is the protector, nobody can do anything. Rake Krishna mare Krishna rake. If Krishna wants to kill somebody, nobody can protect him. If Krishna wants to protect somebody, nobody can kill him. So ultimately, Krishna is the protector. If this is this is the truth which we see every page of Bhagavatam, every page of Bhagavad Gita. This is the ultimate thing which we have to learn. So next text is text 27. Lord is described here as a real maintainer. So my Lord, from the great leaders of the universe, such as Lord Brahma and other demigods, down to the political leaders of this world, are all envious of your authority. Without your help, however, they could neither separately nor concertedly maintain the innumerable living entities within the universe. You are actually the only maintainer of all human beings, of animals like cows, asses, plants, reptiles, birds, mountains, and whatever else is visible within this material world. Whatever else is visible within the material world. So again, coming to the important point that many leaders in this world, they become a small towns, maybe a small village panchayat leader. How puffed up they are. Many places I have seen some, if somebody has some higher position, see their behavior. For example, I have seen some school headmasters, to see them, they make you stand outside. This is the temporary material positions. With that, how much how much pride they became. So here he is describing he is criticizing Brahma, political leaders of the world. They are all great leaders, but at times they also become envious of Krishna without knowing, because they are also influenced by Maya, which we see in Bhagavatam, in later cantos, how Brahma become bewildered, how Lord Indradev become bewildered, because they are given some controlling powers. To become a controller is a risk in material world. Unless we become a humble leaders. See, leaders have to control. That is there. Like any king or any leaders, they have to control. But within their heart, they should have complete surrender to Krishna. You see the king Amrish Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Parikshit Maharaj, all these Rajarishis, so many personalities in Bhagavatam, Bharata Maharaj, Yayati, so many are there. All these great kings, though they are the rulers of this world, not one place, one small petty village or a small place. They all realized that Krishna is the ultimate controller. He has given me the service. But whenever a leader, whenever a controller goes out of track, then Krishna gives them a severe test, which we saw in the life of Brahma and life of Indra also. Then Krishna smashes their ego like anything. But the worldly leaders, if you ask, They are like dying like a wasp. How, like, small worms, just they die easily. Like that, they die in the hands of material nature, Prakriti. But still, people are behind power. Oh, power going in that cars, ministers, they are so happy. Oh, I am great, I am great. How much pressure they have, how much tension they have, but still they think, oh, I am the controller, which is complete Maya. Complete Maya. To become a leader is a great risk. The Manu Samhita says that the king of the country should take one-sixth of the sins performed by the citizens. Then, if they are not Rajarishis, then they have to suffer a lot. Because imagine the whole population's sin come to one person, one the king. It's very, very risk, but still they are for these higher positions. So if the position is given to a demigod or anyone, if they misuse the position, immediately they are thrown out. So that we see in many devatas life. So we see that in the life of Nahusha, there was a Indra, what do you say? Is a Stepney Indra, we can say that when Indra had to perform some tapasya because of his sins, he had to perform tapasya for thousands of years inside the lotus stem because he committed many mistakes. So for that he went away from Indralok. So the Devatas, the elders, the management decided to keep the qualified person, Nagusha, as he's a qualified emperor. So they kept him as the Indra. But what happens once position is given? What happens? Oh, I can control anything. I can do anything. That's the mood. Once position is given, they think that I am not bound by any rules. I am the leader. So I'm also personally see even in spiritual institutions like in ISKCON, I have seen the leaders' mood. The Trinadapi Sunichana leaders, they don't have that such thing. ISKCON leaders, they don't have this Trinadapi Suni. They are also like, you go to any politicians or any other leaders of this material world, like that they behave. Though every day we hear Bhagavatam, every day we hear lectures and so many things, but still when the post comes, person changes. So it is better to be women because we have to be humble, we have to be submissive. Our position is very safe because we will not develop the false ego. Where we can develop the false ego? We cannot become leaders. We cannot rule the world or rule such things and develop our ego and become destroyed like Nagusha. Nagusha, what happened? Because once he became Indra, he became very puffed up. And then he wanted to enjoy Indra's wife, Devendra's wife. Oh, now I am Devendra, I am Indra. So I want to enjoy Sachi. Her name is Sasi or Sachi something. So, but she complained this to Brihaspati. Then they had all consultation. Oh, this Nagusha is behaving bad. Now curse him. That's all. Cursed him. All of them are cursed because Devatas can do anything. They do have power, high power. So with that power, they cursed him to become a python. In one lifetime, Indra. Next lifetime, python. You see, the result of power. So that's why devotees are very careful. They always pray, we don't want post. I don't want the post of Indraloka. No, 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 no. I may become a dog in a devotee's house. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is praying, I may become an insect in the devotee's house. I don't want to become a demigod. Many great devotees, they pray that we don't want any post, because the post risk is there. Very high risk is there. That's why it is said that they become envious of the Lord. Because of envy only we are all here. And that envy will be boosted in big positions. Unless one is properly qualified with philosophical knowledge, one should never take up leadership positions. Better to do jadu and pota and remain humble is better position than to become some leaders or some this, that. It's a very risk, because lots of Vaishnava aparadha also happens. So one story reminds me again, the risk of leaders. This story comes in Ramayana. I quite often remember this story when some leaders misbehave. It's a very risk. Leadership position, in especially in devotional spiritual line, is very risky, because lots of offenses will happen. So here, Lord Ram kept one bell in his palace. So anyone can come and ring the bell. Okay? Anyone can come and ring the bell if they have some complaints, some problems. So Lord Ram personally comes out and solve the problems. So this time bell rang. So Lord Ram came and saw that there was a bleeding dog standing. He was very surprised by this. So he looked at the dog, and the dog started speaking. Oh, the dog said, "Oh Lord, I was severely beaten by a Brahmana." So the Brahmana, he went to different houses to take alms, food. But he didn't get anyone didn't give him. So he was very upset, and I was crossing that time. He got so annoyed and he bet me. So I am severely bleeding. Then Lord Ram said, because you are speaking, so that must, then you decide what punishment should be given to this Brahmana. The dog said, let him become leader of means temple president of a mutt. Lord Ram was surprised. This is not a punishment. This is a reward. Then the dog said, no, I was a leader of that Madadipati. I was Madadipati, or in charge of that Mat in my previous life. I was a very humble person. Still, I committed a lot of offenses against devotees. Now you see my condition. This man gets irritated for small things. Imagine if he becomes leader, he will commit a lot of offenses, and offenses will reward him. So, people are behind a post in this material world. But what happens? In this lifetime, one is Brahma, next lifetime they become ant. In this lifetime, they are superstars, next lifetime they may become a plant. Especially the women who show their body, become Miss Universe, Miss World, this world, that world. They don't know. They are exposing their body. They're exposing especially their leg and this and that. And then, next life you become a tree. They don't understand. So the leaders, especially when they become leader, this lifetime leader, next lifetime, yeah, anything you can imagine, because the position makes them very pride. They become very pride, and they misbehave. So here, that's why he is praying. Manu is what? Manu is the again king of the universe. But he remains humble. He is a pure devotee. That's why he could pray like this. So he is saying that you are the maintainer. You are maintaining everyone. You are maintaining all the jivas. Okay. Then 28th verse, again, last prayer, he is saying, O Almighty Lord, at the end of the millennium, this planet Earth, which is the source of all kinds of herbs, drugs, trees, was inundated by water and drowned beneath the devastating waves. At that time, you protected me along with the earth, roamed the sea with great speed. O unborn one, you are the actual maintainer of the entire universal creation, and therefore you are the cause of all living entities. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Because this devotee, especially particularly, he relates his um, uh, he relates his life with the Lord, because he protected Manu. He is a special devotee, right? That's why he's chosen him. He has chosen him and said, oh, okay, next you become the Manu and then continue the life. Such special, he is a special person. For that, he is grateful. So, as devotees, we should be grateful to the Lord. As I told in the beginning of this class, many they don't even realize the value of devotion. They don't realize that we should surrender to Krishna. But at least Krishna has given us the intelligence to come to devotional life. We should be grateful. We are chanting, we are hearing, we are associating with devotees, we are visiting dhams. So many things are happening in our life. So for that, we should be every day, every minute, we have to be thankful, 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 grateful, grateful. Many, they don't realize the bliss which they get. They always, lament. Oh, I don't have that, I don't have that. Like that, they lament. But we are all fortunate. We should be grateful to the maintainer. Like this Manu is grateful to the Lord. And he is saying that I'm paying obeisances to you because Krishna, you have protected me. You have given me the chance to serve you. Unless Krishna does this, where we can go, where we will go. He has given us the opportunity to chant his name. He has given us the opportunity to take initiation, take association with the devotees. These are all by his mercy, right? His mercy, it is happening. So we should be grateful to the Lord. So like Manu is grateful to the Lord. So, but Prabhupada is writing, envious persons cannot appreciate how wonderfully the Lord creates, maintains, and annihilates the universe. But devotees of the Lord can understand this perfectly well. Devotees can see how the Lord is acting behind the wonderful workings of the material nature. Maya dakshena prakriti, suyate sacharacharam, etunanena kaunteya, jagatvi parivartate. This material nature is working under my direction, O son of Kunti, and it is producing all moving and unmoving beings. By its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. So this creation and annihilation taken place again and again. So this Manu is connected with the annihilation, right? Annihilation. Can you imagine a devotee wanted to see the annihilation? So Krishna, it is very, very risky to see annihilation. Means how it is very, very fearsome, right? The whole world is getting destroyed, right? Markandeya Rishi prayed for that. After praying this, when he experienced that, then later he started, what kind of boon I wanted, why should I ask this? We can see that in 12th canto. He was tossed here and there by the devastation, water devastation, which he saw. And then when he started praying, oh, stop, enough, this is enough. I don't want to see this. Then he could see the Lord in the banyan leaf. He could see. So here Manu saw the devastation which this world is created, destroyed. Bhutva praliyate. It is the material world is created and destroyed, because the material world, or in anything in this material world, has a beginning and end. But Lord and Lord's kingdom has no beginning and no end. Material world, as it is also Lord's property only, but to punish us, to make us to realize, and we have to come out of it, he created this. Here ends the prayers. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Prayer to Matsyadev. Matsya Avatar. Okay. So no doubts. So we will end. Vanchakalpatarubhyasya kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo. Hare Krishna.